Hi everyone, Diana Rankin here with your weekly soul messages and a prediction or two, we'll see. But certainly this is an important message coming up. And thank you all for coming. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for telling your friends and subscribing to this channel. I'm deeply grateful for all of you, and thank you also for your comments. We will get a message from this book, the Master's Book of Answers by Philip. Each page is a different it's an oracle book, and each page is a different wisdom. And so we'll just think left page, right page. And those of you who are letting me know you think with me and you're getting it right or left, because I always say think left page or right page, and that's our answer. And I always read the opposite page as well, just to give us an extra message. But those of you who are going along with me and saying left page, right page, so many of you are getting it right and you're letting me know that. That's cool. I love it. We're also going to get a message from one of my other books, Joy, The Art of Living a Happy Life. And we're actually going to start with this message instead of getting it later. And then I have a message. I did write out what when I sat down and talked to Philip. And sometimes I read directly what Philip tells me, and sometimes I just kind of paraphrase it if it gets too long. But you seem to like it when I read it directly from Philip, so I will continue to do that, especially since you've asked for it. But I want to give you this from this book. It's 52 practices to create joy in your life. And I've never given you the very first practice, and that's simply to commit. You can't have joy and happiness in your life if you don't commit to it. And you got to commit to it. You've got to do the work. This will help you do the work, but start with committing. The other thing I'm going to ask of you before I start telling you about what Philip says this week, I'm going to ask you to commit to your own life. Now, I don't ask a whole lot of you, and I've never asked you to do that. But I'm asking you this week, please commit to your own life. That will get a little clearer as we go through. Well, when I sat down and asked Philip, this is Saturday, by the way, and I had planned on taping this Friday, but my intuition said, no, you have to wait till Saturday, and I didn't know why. So when I sat down and I said, Philip, what would you like our viewers to know this week? He said, first of all, remind everyone, and this is important, life doesn't happen to them, but through them. Life doesn't happen to us, my friend. It happens through us. You have to think about that one for a while. Life doesn't happen to us. It happens through us. And then Philip said, tell them the story of last night, and to know that each person is creating their own reality. And we really are doing that. We're all creating our own reality as we go through our lives. And I'm going to explain a little bit more when Philip will help with that. But let me tell you about last night. Last night, by the way, this is the 29th week of 2019, and it is for July 14th to the 20th. So it's our 29th video of the year for July, the week of July 14th to the 20th. Okay, back to my story. Last night, I went down into the city, into Dayton, Ohio, to the Lights of Liberty, which was a program of different speakers and then a candlelight vigil for the children down in the detention centers along the border. So often, gatherings of this sort are angry, and there's fist throwing and yelling, and that's not helping us. That's not helping us. Last night was a gathering of beauty. It was a gathering of love. It was a gathering of all of these people coming together to say, we care. And here's what we can do about it. We care. There was love. The word love was said over and over and over, and it was shown to each other. For example, when I went, I was up on a couple of steps and a platform, and when I started coming down, there was a gentleman there who offered his arm just like that. And would you like a hand? And of course, when we lit the candles, there was a pretty good breeze blowing, which on a summer evening felt great. But it kept blowing the candles out, so we kept lighting each other's candles, so we'd keep the candles lit. Little things like that. Just love being shown over and over and over. Not big, huge, gotta do it perfectly, but just compassion, generosity, touching, reaching out to each other. That's love. So it was an honor to be a part of Lights of Liberty and to let the world know, around the world, we care. The people care. And please let the people care in love, not anger. Now, that said, this is what Philip has to say for us this week. The anger that so many are choosing to experience is merely a deflection away from the truths of who they are, which is a divine spirit having a human experience. Once you accept you are a divine spirit having a human experience, life becomes joyful. It is love-filled. However, reaching this acceptance is difficult for so many who are entrenched in beliefs of the collective, their own life experiences of this life and other lives they have lived, and of course, childhood trauma in the current life expression. To rid oneself of old patterns is the hero or heroine's journey, a perilous journey as experienced through the human brain. It is only by expanding the human mind through repatterning the brain and DNA circuits that this journey becomes feasible. To even begin the journey requires an awakening of insight and a courage to take the journey. It is a draw that calls one to the journey, but one must be willing to answer the call. The call to the journey is answered only by those who allow the need to live love is greater than their fear of stepping into the journey. For each, the journey will be different. But for all, life will require what may be perceived as sacrifices. This thought alone puts many into fear, but let it not be so. Know that you walk not alone, but with all those who have gone before and cut the path. There are those who stick a toe in and may take many years on the journey, and there are those who will jump in fully. It is best to take a full and firm step, allowing the humanness to adopt to each step. Of course, running will be required at times, as will rest. There will even be times when it seems the only alternative is to jump off a cliff or face the beast. The choice is, I've got to turn the page, always there for you to make, even the choice to take or to not take the journey. And then, of course, I said, thank you, Philip. And then I want to read what I wrote after talking with Philip this morning. As I came to the end of what Philip said, I came to realize why he wanted me to talk about last night. Coming together with others of like mind in such a peaceful camaraderie, with love spoken and shown over and over, shows me that there are many of us awakening to the truths. There is love. Maybe in my lifetime, the wars won't stop. Maybe Mother Earth will continue to cleanse herself with storms and fires destructive to humans. But my life, where I live and breathe and have my being, my life will be filled with love and joy as I continue on my journey. And I know there are many others around the world who come together on a Friday summer night to light a candle for those in the darkest part of their journey, to provide a light of hope and to say, you are not alone. We are with you. And I am so grateful to be part of this journey. Think left, right page. And as you think, we just flip through and open to a page. Look at that. I'm hearing right. Okay, here we go. When you recognize another's right to believe differently from you, you have begun. When you understand those beliefs, you have learned. When you understand why those beliefs are held, you have grown. I'm going to repeat that. When you recognize another's right to believe differently from you, you have begun. When you understand those beliefs, you have learned. When you understand, excuse me, why those beliefs are held, you have grown. We do not all believe the same. And to be angry at the other for believing differently isn't going to change the other's beliefs. Let's reach out to each other in understanding, not in anger. Let's reach out and say, tell me what you believe. Let me listen from my heart, not to override you, not to say you're crazy, but to hear you. And then let me understand why you believe that. Maybe it's a childhood trauma. And just by looking at that, you're able to go on your journey toward love instead of fear. Here's the left page. When you judge another, it is really yourself you are judging. When you judge another, it is really yourself you're judging. Let's stop judging, my friends. Let's reach out in love. That's not to say we don't have healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries are absolutely necessary because we start with loving ourselves, and that means we have to have healthy boundaries. But as long as we're yelling at each other, we can't hear each other. Let's reach out in love. Let's hear each other. And let's take each other's hand and help each other along the journey to love instead of demanding you jump off the cliff. Let's hold each other in love. I love you, my friends. Daisy's here sleeping. We love you, and we so are appreciative of the love you send to us. Until we talk again, have a wonderful week. Be safe. Use that intuition that you have, that gut instinct to keep you safe. Not pleasant weather for everyone this week. Take care. I love you. Thank you.